Hello and welcome to the channel once again. My name is Yvonne and I'm recording for you from Perth, Western Australia. And this is the second video about the body following my series of mind, body and soul. And we hope to continue talking about some small things that we can do to keep our body in good shape and to make us feel better. According to an article written by the American Psychological Association that was reviewed in October 2024 last year, stress affects our respiratory, cardiovascular, gastrointestinal, and nervous systems in the body. Just to name a few, there's more than that. Now, when stress is chronic, it can lead to worse things. It can make us feel completely out of control of our emotions, of our state of mind, and even become very sick and start suffering from things we don't want to suffer from. And that forces us to rely on medical help or psychological help eventually. So we don't want to reach that stage at all. Now, the impact of stress and strong emotions such as, for example, anguish, uncertainty, insecurity. Sometimes people go through these moments and some people feel short of breath or breathless, or they start panting and sweating, and these are the responses of the body when we have, stressful situations, even though they may be momentary. For example, the worst of all, of course, from my point of view, is the violent, sudden, unexpected death of a loved one. And that can have a long-lasting impact in our minds, bodies, and souls. Other people, for example, go through scary moments all of a sudden and they hyperventilate and they cannot control the situation, for some time. And these are some of the many issues the report refers to. And I would suggest, if you have a time to read it, look for it, American Psychological Association, and it is there. Very, very interesting and very educational. I personally have observed in other people, and I have experienced it myself also on many occasions, the daily common stressful moments that can, put us out of balance mentally, physically, or emotionally. Things like, being late for work, for example, being caught in a traffic jam and you need to be somewhere and you just can't because the traffic is not flowing at all. And there's nothing you can do about it. If your car breaks down in the middle of the highway, in the middle of the road, if suddenly you are driving to your doctor's appointment or your physio appointment and you get a message on the phone saying that, the appointment had to be canceled all of a sudden for whatever reason, that also puts us out of balance, throws away all the plans that we had and, how we had scheduled our activities. And this has happened to me many times, if your telephone is discharged all of a sudden, you're out of battery, you're caught in the middle of everything, because if you are away from your home, you need to find a place where you can recharge your phone. Some people carry additional chargers in the bag. I have a portable one, which is very helpful, but then you have to stop, connect it, and recap. What was I talking about? What was going on? What was happening? And it also throws you out of balance a little bit. You have to restart the road again if you want to. Now, these unexpected events that can happen to anyone at any time can also affect, according to the Psychological Association, your heart rate, your heart rhythm. The way your heart is pumping changes, and it can also intrude in your mind, causing a lot of confusion, frustration, And if you're driving, you run the risk of, having an accident unknowingly. And an accident, as we all know, can happen in seconds. You distract yourself for some reason, and in 1 second, something can happen. So your concentration and your focus can also be affected by these sudden changes that you were not counting on. And that happens to all of us every day, at any time. But the American Psychological Association suggests some helpful strategies to reduce stress a little bit and help you control and improve your mental state and your physical health even. For example, the 3 main ones they mention are try to sleep well, socialize, and exercise regularly. Now, controlling your sleep pattern is not easy. It all depends on your activities, the times you have to get up. People work night shifts sometimes, you name it. It is, unless you have a regular pattern in your lifestyle every day, you have to take the children to school, you have to go to work, then you can more or less control that. But if it fluctuates, it becomes a little bit difficult. Now, some of the tips that work for me are very simple, but they have a marvelous effect, I have to say. For example, before going to bed, I close the day, look at my diary. I know already what I'm going to do the following day. I have organized everything so that I am not crowding my day with activities. I know exactly where I'm going to go, how much time it will take, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then forget them. Just put the diary away, have a nice light meal, and then go in, just relax. So in the evening, which is supposed time for you to relax, rest, and sleep well, I usually take a shower before going to bed. That's a feeling that I love. A warm shower, and I feel relaxed, rested, and of course I'm perfumed with my body lotion. It's just lovely. I love the feeling. And you get into bed and you feel good. And I can either read a book that takes my mind away from all the usual things, usually a pleasant book to read. And for me, pleasant doesn't necessarily mean a romantic novel. It can be a historic novel, it can be scientific, that the type of reading that I really enjoy. Having said that, I have to confess that when I read in bed, after the second page, I'm already asleep. So it takes me, if I rely on evenings to read books, it would take me years to complete books because I fall asleep so easily when I read. So I have to change that sometimes and just move my reading to the daytime during the weekend, sitting up with a coffee in hand, and then I can manage to read, quite a few chapters. But it's a way to relax my mind and help me fall asleep very quickly. So if I don't have that, I can listen to some soft music, which I love, or keep thinking about how good it feels to snuggle in bed, especially in winter when you are all wrapped up and cozy, and enjoy the moment. And when you put your mind at rest like that, for me at least, I fall asleep very easily. And having said that, I have to admit that I am a fantastic sleeper. Once I fall asleep, that's it. You can throw a bomb outside my window and I will not hear it. And that nearly has happened once in the past to me. And if I don't use an alarm to wake up in the morning the following day, I could go on forever. And then I would be sleeping throughout the night and probably have the morning. So yes, I am a very good sleeper, and I feel great in the morning when I, wake up and stretch and exercise a little bit and get up. I have rested and I feel it, and that's very important. So try to work out how much sleep you can include in your daily routine and in what way you can manage it, and stick to it. try to make it a habit, so you give yourself that pleasure, because having a good sleep is a lot of pleasure, you know. Now, the second thing they mention is socializing. And socializing, of course, takes your mind away from the must-do routines and give us all the opportunity to have an entertaining conversation with others, laugh and listen to other people's stories, whatever happened during the day. Something really funny may have happened to my neighbor, or my children went through a difficult moment that they finally solved, and you are involved into one another, and that's also very important. You feel part of the life of others, and their lives are part of yours as well. So this, of course, makes the brain work wonders on your body and soul. The signals your brain sends is all about laughter and comfort, and zero anguish and stress, because you're sharing with others. Okay, and in some other cultures, it is a daily routine that is practiced constantly, with your family, your friends, even your neighbors. It can be during a meal, it can be a coffee at the end of the day, or a glass of wine. But if your body feels good, your emotions will always be positive. And particularly if you are sharing the time, with others. It's not yet just you and your things and your problems. It's, paying a little bit of attention to others, and maybe there is even the opportunity to contribute some good advice, some help, and that is a very healthy thing for the soul. Okay, and forgetting about your own ups and downs is even healthier. I like it. Oops, sorry. I'm just and now, exercise. I remember a few years ago, during an interview with Jane Fonda, can't remember if it was a TV interview, I think it was a radio interview actually. She was nearly 70 years old, and she was asked, why didn't she make a video for women 60 years of age and above? And since her past videos, aerobics and workout videos, in the 70s, 80s, had been so successful, and I myself had them all actually, it would be good to have a video for older women as well, to continue the trend, because we admire her so much. She did, and it was very good. I had it. And at the same interview, she said, it's okay to continue being insistent about exercising. However, we should not neglect the fact that when we women move around the house, we're constantly active, and that activity counts as well. When you're vacuuming, when you are mopping the floor, stretching your arms to put things up and down the shelves, putting the dishes away, getting the rubbish out, doing some gardening in your own backyard, making the bed, rearranging cushions here and there, moving furniture. We don't realize, because we've done it for years. But that activity also counts, and at our age it's fantastic. Just keep doing a little bit, every day. It's very healthy for you. It's as rewarding as any other type of exercise, and it doesn't cost anything, and you can do it in your own time. So when we do these little things, we are of course doing something that doesn't seem to us like healthy exercise, and it is. Believe me, it is. And it makes you feel also you're controlling your things, you are tidying up, you're achieving things, you're completing tasks. So it has a lot of positive about it. And that goes also, for example, if you want to wash your car, if you're going to go and ask something from your neighbor, and your neighbor lives just half a block away, well, walk. Another little thing to do, which is very helpful and very, very rewarding as far as exercise goes, which makes you feel like you're not really exercising, but you are. Park your car farther from the entrance of the supermarket or the shops or the shopping center where you're going. Give yourself, a few extra meters to walk. Instead of parking right in front of the main entrance, just do it, 3, 4, 5 car bays away from the entrance, and even more as days go by and you get used to that. And those little walks, coming back and forth from the entry of the supermarket, the pharmacy, your bank, whatever, weather permits, of course. It's also a little bit of exercise that seems minor, but it's very effective. And at least you're just doing the effort of, trying to keep active. So if you invest about 10 to 15 minutes every day to routines like this, get up and down, you can sit at the computer working. Okay, get up after an hour and do 20 minutes of walking about and other things that you can do around the house. There's always something to do around the house anyway, so we won't be short of that. And use it for your own benefit. Enjoy it and see how it goes. I hope these tips help. I hope and wish you a very relaxed, active, and enjoyable journey. And incorporate these new little habits and see how you go. You'll feel better, I'm pretty sure. See you in the next video and have a great time. Bye for now.